was times where it was just her and I by ourselves, and I'm making jokes and she's laughing, and there was nothing about the situation that felt forced. She seemed, again, that they had done this before, that this was a routine. None of this felt new to her.
Cassie probably thought her chapter with Diddy was finally over. She likely believed that after everything she shared, after the lawsuit, and after the settlement, she could move forward and rebuild her life. But this new situation, this unexpected twist, it's coming straight toward her like a storm she never imagined. And if what insiders are saying is even halfway true, Cassie might be facing something far bigger than gossip or headlines. She could be risking her reputation, her image, her settlement, and possibly her freedom. For years, the public saw Cassie as the survivor. She was the woman who finally stepped out of the shadows and spoke about what she claimed she endured. People cheered for her. They supported her. They saw her as brave for telling the world what she says happened behind closed doors. But now, the story is shifting. The whispers are getting louder, and these aren't just internet rumors.
We can expect attorneys for Mr. Combs to try to poke holes into the account of Cassie, saying that she was a willing and active participant in these freak-offs.
These are court statements, legal filings, and testimonies from people who say Cassie wasn't just a victim. She might have been involved in some of the very acts she accused Diddy of. And that's what makes this moment so shocking. Imagine the same woman who filed that massive lawsuit against Diddy, claiming years of control and manipulation, now being pulled into legal conversations where her name is showing up right next to his. And not as a witness, not as a bystander, but as someone who may have played a role. This new information doesn't point to Cassie simply being around in the background. These claims suggest she might have helped, assisted, and even organized parts of the lifestyle she later described as dangerous and abusive. We're talking about sealed documents, former insiders speaking up, and names being mentioned that were never supposed to go public.
How do you feel about people saying that you're a clout-chasing lawyer?
Just like I answered that woman's question earlier, I'm not speaking as pursuant to the
And what makes it even more complicated is that much of this allegedly took place when Cassie was right beside Diddy, traveling with him, attending the parties, and reportedly keeping things running behind the scenes. But let's slow down and rewind for a second. Just a few months ago, Cassie shocked the entire entertainment world when she filed that explosive lawsuit against Diddy. Her case wasn't just another celebrity conflict, it changed everything. In the lawsuit, she accused Diddy of controlling her life, manipulating her decisions, using substances, forcing encounters, and transporting her to different places in a way she described as terrifying and dangerous. The lawsuit hit the industry like a lightning bolt. And the most shocking part? Within just 24 hours, yes, one single day.
People, they don't need to lie about Cassie to get a conviction against this guy. He's guilty anyway. So I'm not going to help them lie for Cassie to make this lie look better. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to speak about what she actually did to me, and people, I'm about to go public, because the truth is that the jury and the prosecution and the people deserve to know the truth about Cassie. This should not be held. This should not be hidden. It should not be buried so she's allowed to use an excuse that Diddy made me do it. When there's a man who sat in a room with her 8 years that can say, no, he did things to her, but he didn't do that. People, I'm not for Diddy. I'm fucking not for Diddy. And when you read this book, you'll realize there's no way I'm for Diddy. People, I'm telling them everything that he did, but I'm also telling them what Cassie did. Because a true man of truth tells the truth. He doesn't favor one side or the other.
Diddy settled privately with Cassie for around $30 million. No long court battle, no long public fight. Diddy didn't deny it publicly. He didn't challenge it. He just settled it quietly. That moment changed public perception instantly. Cassie was seen as someone who finally stepped up and told the truth. Social media celebrated her, celebrities praised her, activists supported her. She was viewed as the person who cracked left open the door for everyone else who later filed lawsuits against Diddy. Many said her bravery is what led to the larger federal investigation that followed. But now, that survivor story is being tested in a way nobody expected. While Diddy's team celebrated a minor win in court recently, someone else was already waiting to speak. Someone who says Cassie used his name in sealed court files.
Gotta talk to you.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So, Love Loser came out, and I know that you talk a little bit about that journey for you.
Well, the journey was pretty long, but it was good, and I learned a lot. So, at this point, everything that you're gonna hear thus forward is the truth and just about my life. So it should be exciting.
I'm looking forward to hearing.
Thank you.
Someone who claims she wasn't just there, but was actively involved. His name is Clayton Howard. Clayton used to be around Diddy's world, but he wasn't just a random associate. He says he was an escort who worked closely with both Diddy and Cassie during some of the wildest years of their relationship. Cassie reportedly listed his name in sealed documents when speaking to investigators, but instead of remaining quiet, Clayton came forward with his own story, and he brought receipts. According to Clayton, Cassie wasn't the helpless bystander she painted herself to be. He claims she was deeply involved. He says she organized escorts, booked hotel rooms, arranged transportation, and handled payments. He says Cassie knew exactly what was going on and helped keep the entire operation running smoothly. In his words, Diddy may have been the face of the lifestyle, but Cassie was the one managing the details behind closed doors. And it doesn't stop there. Clayton says Cassie threatened him, telling him to stay silent or face consequences. That is a serious accusation, one that hints at intimidation and control. But here's where things get even stranger. Clayton gave this information in a legal deposition, meaning this wasn't someone telling stories online. He gave his testimony under oath. But prosecutors didn't use his testimony in Diddy's case, not because it wasn't detailed, but because it would have damaged Cassie's credibility. If a jury heard that Cassie allegedly helped organize illegal activity herself, it could have destroyed the foundation of her entire case. So prosecutors kept his statements quiet, hidden, out of the spotlight. But the moment Diddy won even a small legal victory, those sealed details began to leak. And now, Clayton's accusations are out in the open. And the real question becomes, why didn't we hear this earlier? Well, that brings us to another major player, Tyrone Blackburn, an attorney representing several people who filed accusations against Diddy, including producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Tyrone also represented Clayton at one point. And according to Clayton, Tyrone intentionally kept his story quiet. Why? Clayton claims that during that time, Cassie was considered too valuable. She was the face of everything. She was the one person the public believed without hesitation. And all the other lawsuits depended heavily on her credibility. If Cassie's image cracked, even a little, the entire wave of accusations against Diddy could collapse. So Clayton says his lawyer stalled him, silenced him, and protected Cassie, not because she was innocent, but because she was important. Eventually, Clayton got tired of being shut down, so he fired his lawyer and filed his own lawsuit, and this one could change everything. Clayton accuses Cassie of multiple crimes. He says she recruited him, pressured him, and made promises of luxury in exchange for certain acts. He claims she drugged him with heavy doses of MDMA without clear consent, leaving him disoriented. He says she held him in a hotel for days, took his phone, took his clothes, and made sure he couldn't leave. If these claims are true, or even partly true, they put Cassie in the same position she accused Diddy of being in. And that's where the legal danger becomes real. Clayton's lawsuit uses the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. This law doesn't only punish the person in charge, it holds everyone involved accountable. If someone benefited socially, financially, or personally from trafficking, they can be sued as well. That means even if Cassie didn't physically force anyone, if she arranged travel, handled payments, or helped manage things, she could be held legally responsible. Clayton is also going after the $30 million Cassie received from Diddy. He says he suffered because of her actions, and if he proves that in court, he can try to take part of that settlement. And once one person steps forward, others might follow. If Clayton wins, or even gets far in this case, more individuals may speak up and say they experienced similar things. And suddenly, Cassie may not just be facing one lawsuit, she could be facing many. And let's not forget, a judge already labeled Cassie an equal participant in parts of Diddy's lifestyle. That alone shows how risky things are becoming for her. Right now, Cassie's public image is at a crossroads. People still see her as a survivor, but with these new accusations surfacing, the narrative is starting to shift. And once the public sees someone as both a victim and a participant, it becomes harder to keep the story straight. So now the question becomes, what really happened? Was Cassie trapped in Diddy's world like she claimed, or did she participate in that world more than she admitted? At this point, it's not just a conversation, it's a legal storm forming right in front of us. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe for more updates, and stay tuned because this story is far from over. See you in the next video.